Good morning, students. My name is Osagwe Emmanuel. Welcome to Unibek group of schools. And today we have basic technology on the topic properties of materials. And we have our specific objective on the board. It's a guide to know the area we're going to cover on this topic. Number one, the student should be able to, at the end of this teaching, the student should be able to know the meaning of wood. Then number two, identification of what? Metals. We have different types of metals. We have the aluminum, we have the iron, we have the wrought iron, different type of metal. The student can be able to differentiate and identify them. Now we have number three, explain the following terms: ceramics, plastic, rubber. This is the area we'll cover today on this topic. They are the properties of what? Materials. Now let me start from wood. Alright, what is wood, if I may ask? What do you understand by the word wood? Wood is a hard material with fibrous structural tissue found in the stem and roots of a tree and wooden plant. For instance, let's take a look at this tree on the board. Here is our tree on the board. I can use this to explain better, because here you see the leaf, here you see the root, the branch. Here is the leaf, the branch. This type of the trunk or the stem, call it stem, and the roots. The one we have on the board here is something. Here you can see the leaves, the branches. This is the trunk or the stem, and we have here the roots. And when this tree remains for a long time, you see it will get bigger and bigger until it gets taller. Now from this point where we have the stem, this is where we use as our wood for timber. Alright, we have two types of wood on the board. Types of wood. Number one, we have hardwood. Now, the hardwood is quite different from the softwood based on their characteristics. Now, the hardwood can be obtained from a deciduous tree. Yet they can be obtained from deciduous tree. Why? Because they shed their leaf in the dry season. And because they do that to do what? To retain or conserve water, to avoid water loss. Another point is that they have a broad leaf. That is one of the another characteristics of hardwood. They have broad leaf. An example of hardwood, number one, we have the iroko, the iroko tree. Number two, we have the afara. Number three, we have the mahogany, and a lot more, but I will stop here. Alright, let's go to the second one, the softwood. Softwood, they are called, obtained from coniferous trees. They are obtained from the coniferous trees because they do not shed their leaves. Even in the dry season, their leaves remain with them. They can be called evergreen because they do not shed their leaves. Their leaves remain with them. And another point, they have a naked seed called cone. A naked seed. These are characteristics that will differentiate the hardwood from the soft wood. Example of the softwood: one, we have the cedar. Two, we have the cypress. Three, we have the spruce. They are the types of what? Soft wood. Alright, let's go to the second one, identification of metals. We have metals. Metals. What do you understand by metals? Metal is a substance or element that is a good conductor of both heat and electricity. A good conductor of both heat and electricity. Metals can be identified based on their physical what? Properties. Yes, they can be identified based on their physical what? Properties. Now, what are their physical what? Properties? Number one, we have fusibility. We have fusibility. Fusibility. We have fusibility. Now, this fusibility is the ability of a metal to melt. The ability of a metal to melt, we call it what? Fusibility. Metal can be melted until they become liquid. Yes, metal can be melted until they become what? Liquid. The temperature at which the solid metal melts is called melting point. The temperature at which it takes place, the metal melt, is called what? Melting what? Point. Number two, we have density. Density. These are how to identify metals. We have density. We have density. That is number two. We have density. Density. This property describes how heavy or light is a given substance. When we talk about density, we talk about how heavy or light of a substance. So this can be used to identify what? Metals. And number three, we have conductivity of metal. Number three, conductivity of metal. This is another point, the conductivity of heat. The conductivity of heat. The conductivity of heat is another point to identify metals. When metals are put in a fire, the heat of the fire gradually moves through the metal until it gets to the other end. We talk of the conductivity. When a metal is placed on a fire, you will see the heat from the fire will move gradually until you get to the other end of the metal. If you are with the metal, if you are holding the metal, you may not see how the heat moves, but you can feel it with your hand, how it conducts. Now let's go to the next one. We have the sound test. Sound test. Sound test. It's another point to identify metals. We have the sound test. Metals produce different sounds when they are hit with a hammer. Metals produce different sounds when they are hit with a hammer. If you bring a metal like aluminium and bring another metal like a made up of, let me use wrought iron or iron. If you hit it and hit aluminium, you see they will produce different what? Sounds. So they can be identified based on their sound test. Alright, the next one, we have the color or the lustrous. We'll talk about the brightness of a metal, the brightness of a metal. The brightness, talk about the color. Color and the lustrous. The next one, talk about the magnetic effect. Magnetic effect. That is the characteristics that can be identified metals. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. The classes of metal. The classes of metal. Classes of metal. Classes of metal. Classes of metal. Number one, we have ferrous metal. Ferrous metal. And number two, we have non-ferrous metal. That classes of metal. We have ferrous metal and non-ferrous metal. Let's start with the ferrous metal. The metal that contain iron. They contain iron. They are magnetic in nature. The ferrous metal, they are magnetic what? In nature. An example of the ferrous metal, we have the iron, alloy of iron, we have the steel, we have the stainless, and we have the wrought iron. Also, cast iron. They are the what? Example of what? Ferrous metal. They have ability to do what? To magnet. Yes, they are magnetic what? In nature. Now the next one, non-ferrous metal, they don't have that magnetic what? Effect. They don't have the ability to magnet. They are not iron in nature. An example, we have the brass, we have the bronze, we have the aluminium, and we have the what? The copper. They are the what? Non-ferrous metal. Alright, let's go to the next one, ceramics. Ceramics. That's another property of material. Ceramics. We have ceramics. What do you understand by ceramics? Ceramics, they are solid objects made from non-metallic inorganic materials such as clay, mud, and cement. Example of product of material ceramics, we have the water pot, we have the cooking pot, and servicing pot, and bricks, also tiles. Tiles on the floor is an example of what? Ceramics products. Ceramic, in our house, we have ceramic pot, we have ceramic plates, we have ceramics, even we use ceramics in our what? Building construction. Alright, and in the next class, I will explain the uses of those what? Materials. But quickly, let me rush to the plastics. Plastics are synthetic organic materials. Plastic, we have the plastic. Plastic, they are synthetic organic materials. They are moldable. They are commonly used for mold household containers. And we have two types of plastics. We have a thermoplastic and thermosetting. Thermoplastic are those plastics that they are soft and flow like liquid when heated. Example, we have the plastic we use in our various homes. The example of what? Thermoplastics. Another one, we have thermosetting. They cannot be softened or made pliable when heated. Example is the buttons on our shirts. The example of what? Thermosetting plastic. Now, let's go to the last one, rubber. Rubber is a non-metallic substance. Rubber is a non-metallic substance, non-metallic product of substance. It may be natural rubber or synthetic rubber. What I mean by natural rubber, we obtain the natural rubber from the stem of a rubber. When you cut it, you see something like a milky white in color. It will just go out. Their natural what? Rubber. And the synthetic rubber is man-made. It's man-made. Example, the car tire, and the rubber slippers we wear. They are the product of what? Synthetic rubber. Alright, I'll stop here. Next class, we'll go to the uses of those materials. Now, here is the class activity. Class activity. Number 1. List 5 forms of metals. List 5 forms of metals. Then assignment. Number 1. State 3 advantages of plastic. Number 2 disadvantages of plastic. All right, I'll stop at this point. Next class, we'll discuss the uses of those materials. Thank you.